Welcome to Hot Takes with Chedda Chaz with a no hand holding. We do it fast, not emotion. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you haven't already. Shout out to Miller Lite, DraftKings, and Topo Chico. You guys should support them because they support us. Man, I had a hell of a day. I was in Fells Point around like Baltimore, Fells Point, and I was in another spot, Mount Vernon, money making Mount Vernon. I was looking at condos. Dog, these condo fees, they out of control, bro. They out of fucking control. Like we gotta do something. We gotta write the president. Write the president. These condo fees is insane. They totally unconstitutional. So yo, if y'all saw the live stream yesterday, boy, them haters don't like that. Them haters don't like that. Team, they making calls. They making phone calls. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say about it right now. But if things go the way, if things keep going the way they're going, we'll be able to say more moving forward. But yeah, they haters don't like that. So by now, Willie Green got his contract extension. Let me add a little context to that. So Willie Green got this contract extension based on what he'd done, because this year he would have been a lame duck coach. So what he was able to accomplish last year, Zion only playing 29 games. I think Brandon played like 45, 43, something like that. And for that team to make the play-in, that's, to me, it's warranted. It's warranted because you didn't have your guys. You didn't have Zion the first year. Understand it. It's funny to me, though, that the contract was given with the line of thinking of, well, if he did this without health, they should be incredible once this team is healthy. And this year, Brandon Zion played about 55 games, if I'm not mistaken. It could be, I think, 55 games. And this team was dog shit in some regards. Willie Green got to, finish filling out his own staff with Coach JB. That didn't really work out, especially not behind the scenes. That's not really worked out. In fact, man, I think if they had to give Willie Green this contract after this season, he wouldn't get it. He wouldn't have gotten it. Because, dog, look, keep your fingers crossed. We'll probably do a members only show and say a little bit more. But, dog, a lot of shit happened with, like, players and Willie and front office people and Willie. It been going down. I'm not surprised that they gave this extension, like, in the dead of the night, because the same thing happened with Griff, right? They wouldn't really publicize it because I think they know the response they would have gotten, publicly had they announced it when it initially happened. So it's interesting, something to keep an eye on, right? We'll see. As far as the game yesterday, okay, the Lakers, they came in the building, they stomped out the Pelicans. Not surprised. It's something we spoke about last show, the show before the actual game, and it was like, me myself personally was like, you shouldn't make any changes to the starting unit simply because it's going to kind of throw off the chemistry that the guys have built over the last 10 games or so. So I just like the way things is going right now. I don't want to throw something out there and it's a major adjustment to the team where it's like all of a sudden, Trey, what do you do now? You know what I'm saying? Zion, what do you do now? Because this tends to happen with this team. I know typically when Brandon comes back or when he's in a rut, he seems to, they try to get him more involved. Like, they try to play through him early on. And again, with the Lakers, just like with this team, you got to get out to a fast start and just keep them back the rest of the game. That's how the Pelicans are made to play and win. And I don't want to disrupt what CJ got going on last 10 games or so. And they beaten some really good teams down that stretch. You had Phoenix, you had Golden State, you had Milwaukee, had competitive games versus OKC. Like, they've pulled off some impressive victories, I must say. So, and I ain't gonna lie, I was doubting Zion a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. It wasn't until that Phoenix game I was like, oh, all right, this is what we doing. Okay. And CJ too, big respect to CJ. Broke all kind of records this year, man. Much respect to him. Shout out to Trey for rounding the turn post injury. And even shout out to Willie Green. Look, 49 victories, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. Now, did it fall short? Yes, because you probably should have won about 55 games. But 49 victories still isn't nothing to sneeze at. If you look at some of the advanced analytics around, especially around the clutch numbers, the Pelicans are like one of the worst teams in the league. Like when it's like, what's the word? When it's winning time, they down there with the Wizards, Spurs. Just think about the Raptors. Think of all the bad teams, like the tanking teams. That's where the Pistons are at. I'm sorry, that's where the Pelicans are. I'm saying Pistons because of Monty Williams. That's where the Pelicans are, like as far as advanced analytics in the clutch. Now, moving back to the Lakers game, I think the Pelicans got a real good chance of winning this next game versus the Lakers because I think the Lakers are going to tank. I think the Lakers may pull the plug and tank this game because if they win, they'd probably they'll still be in the line of fire with Denver, if I'm not mistaken. But if they lose this game to the Pelicans that they clearly can win and go on to beat, I think maybe Sacramento or somebody like that, then they not really tripping, I think. You know what I'm saying? I think they not really tripping on facing OKC. I think they know they can beat OKC, right? Or they feel confident in facing OKC versus, still being in the line of fire for Denver. The Pelicans also have incentive to lose this game. Now, the Pelicans, unlike the Lakers, may not have a choice whether they want to lose. But the Pelicans may also have incentive to lose this game, like Justin pointed out yesterday, in between, sips of wine. Shout out to Justin. Yo, we was fucked up yesterday. Justin pointed out yesterday, in between unprofessionally taking sips of wine on a live broadcast. Y'all don't know what I go through. Y'all do not know what I go through babysitting these guys, man.
The thrill and excitement of March Mania is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, is giving new customers a shot to turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets with any college basketball bet. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BOOT. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets, only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/promos for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Babysitting the phone calls I get from the upper upper management at the Pelicans concerning this network, man, y'all wouldn't believe it. But anyway, so the Pelicans, they also have incentive to lose this game because to get the Pelicans, you got to be confident in facing Sacramento if it is indeed Sacramento. If it's Golden State, you're probably a little less confident, right? You're probably a little less confident. But it's going to be interesting, man. Like, the Pelicans probably are the only team in the NBA, aside from maybe Houston, and it was one other team that just went crazy. Oh, Atlanta, that's, like, better when they're not healthy. Like, truthfully, in the regular season, the Pelicans are much better, in my opinion, without Larry Nance and Brandon. Right now, you can also say that they might be better without Zion and just Brandon. Like, you can also make that argument. But the fact is, those two guys in a regular season atmosphere or even in the playoff atmosphere, from what we've seen so far, they just don't work. Like, they're not working right now. They still got time to figure it out. They don't have a lot of time, but they could surprise us all and figure it out, and that's what we're hoping for, right? But yeah, man, if I'm the Pelicans, I probably go into this next game with intentions on probably losing because you probably like your chances better if you beat Sacramento or beat Golden State and then you go on to face who is it? Minnesota, maybe? I think it's Minnesota. You probably like your chances better if you go on to face OKC. It would be OKC. You go on to face OKC, right? So that's going to be something to look out for. So again, Pelicans can win. It's all about the context, though. Did the Lakers pull the plug or did they rise to the occasion and beat the Lakers? And even then, you got the Denver Nuggets waiting on you, who I agree with 5. I think the Pelicans match up well with the Denver Nuggets. That don't mean that they'll win, but I think JV and guys like that match up well. It would be a fun, competitive, series, in my opinion. With OKC, I don't think the Pelicans match up as well. I don't think the Pelicans match up as well. I think OKC is a little too much shooting, a little too smart. And Shea is when healthy, Shea just too crafty for the Pelicans, in my opinion. No, that's just my opinion. We shall see. But I think this contract extension, the Pelicans being in the play-in again, some of the things going on behind the scenes, how this team has looked without Brandon in the lineup, how they've looked with him in the lineup. I think it makes for a very interesting offseason. You know, one thing for sure, though, the Pelicans cannot afford to sit on their hands going into this offseason, man. Everything that's happened with JV, everything that's happened with Larry Nance. You lost JV's $15 million tradable salary this offseason, and I don't even think he would accept the contract to come back, even like a fake contract. I don't even think he'd accept it at this point. You still got decisions to make on Brandon's extension. Still got to make a decision on Trey's extension. And the crazy part is, if you do extend Brandon and Trey, you almost kind of neutralizing Trey to a degree, because it's like, all right, what he's never gonna really have the runway, because he's not a guard. Trey is a 3-4. He plays the same position as Brandon pretty much. So he's never really going to have the runway to be more than a catch and shoot guy. So it's a lot of things to consider going into this offseason. I know I gave the season an F just because I had 50 wins going into this season. They fell short of that. But it's not just the fact they fell short. It's the fact, it's like the context of what happened. Houston wasn't a factor. San Antonio wasn't a factor. Utah wasn't a factor. Memphis wasn't a factor. And the Pelicans lost to all those teams. Pelicans lost to Houston twice, Memphis twice, San Antonio. In the game they did win against San Antonio, they went, 2-1? One of the games you won on a game-winning drive by Zion. Lost to Utah twice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Pelicans are a pig with makeup on. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough pill to swallow, pause, but it just is what it is. There are some good things. I think Zion finishing the season healthy, something you can build on. Heading into this offseason, if they don't trade him, which I think, is very possible. I think Trey finishing the season healthy, finishing the season on a high note, something you can build on. CJ was exemplary this season, something you can build on. Other than that, man, I don't know. You did Jordan Hawkins a disservice. Shout out to Matt Ryan for getting his contract. You did him a disservice. Dyson, he had a handful of good games this season, but yeah, he's still the great unknown. I don't know. You never saw EJ Liddell. I don't think Sebron even on a two-way no more. I'm not sure what the situation is with him. You may never see Carlo. Cody Zeller was just a whack-ass signing. No disrespect to Cody, but the signing never made sense. You totally cut Jonas's legs from under him, pardon the expression. Larry Nance just kind of, you ran him into the ground. He had some stuff he was dealing with coming into the season. He had some shit y'all don't even know about coming into the season. We might talk about that in the members only as well. But I want to thank everybody for rocking with us this season, man. It's been 82 games. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. It's just got so many thoughts looking back on this season. So many of our predictions came true. One of my main predictions, two of them, totally like just shit the bed. One was I thought Brandon could average 10 assists this season. I was wrong. I still think he can. He has the talent to do it, but the level of buy-in just wasn't there. I thought Kyra Lewis could figure something out here. Was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Totally wrong. I thought Willie Green would finally lean into playing Jonas. Was totally wrong. Didn't work out. It's totally wrong. So, yeah, man, it's been today's show. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all expect heading into tomorrow's game. Would y'all prefer the Pelicans to tank that game and just take their chances against the Kings that go to State? That way they face OKC. Or would you prefer to go out there, try to beat the dog shot the Lakers and just go head up with Denver and let the chips fall where they may? Pause. And what do y'all think about that Willie Green extension? Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? Does it make you hopeful for the future? Or are you just totally out on the team? I understand, either direction. I totally get it. So that's been today's show. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.